Good morning. Thank you for having me. I appreciate this opportunity to speak. I'm going to read something that I typed up. I hope you don't mind. So my name is Debbie George, and my son Dylan has type 1 diabetes. Dylan was diagnosed at 25 months old, and he is now 17 years old and a junior in high school. Type 1 diabetes is a manageable disease if properly diagnosed in a timely manner. The problem is, as you're hearing, it usually takes 2 or 3 visits to the doctor before a person is properly diagnosed. This is exactly what happened to my precious baby boy. 1 visit to the pediatrician and 2 visits to urgent care before my son was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. By this time, Dylan had a blood sugar level of 538. He was in diabetic ketoacidosis and had collapsed veins due to dehydration. He was in the hospital for 4 days getting his blood sugar stabilized. I will never forget the nurse telling me, "It's a good thing you got him in. He may not have survived the night." It was the most terrifying, gut-wrenching feeling to think I could have lost my precious son, and all because I, nor 2 of the doctors, knew the symptoms to the onset of type 1 diabetes. Over the years, there have been many advancements in the management of type 1 diabetes, which is wonderful. But sadly, there have been no advancements in education or awareness on this disease. Children and adults are still going undiagnosed, ending up in some cases with life-threatening complications and even dying. This must end. Too many children and adults are dying from a manageable disease. Because people with type 1 diabetes are considered to be a minority of the diabetic population, there is a lack of education and public awareness. We simply do not have the resources needed to get an accurate number of people living with type 1 diabetes in order to prove this minority group is growing and growing fast. This is incredibly frustrating. In fact, one of the big diabetes organizations' websites still states the same statistics they had listed 15 years ago when my son was first diagnosed. It's time the public understands that diabetes is not a single disease and should not be lumped together as such. Knowing the difference between type 1 and type 2 diabetes can be the difference, literally, between life and death. Educating the public through our schools will raise awareness to the symptoms of type 1 diabetes for parents, guardians, and caregivers, which can help detect an early diagnosis. Raising awareness in school is crucial because type 1 diabetes affects many of our students. If students are aware of the signs and symptoms of type 1 diabetes, such as hyperglycemia, which is a high blood sugar, or hypoglycemia, low blood sugar, and know what to do to help a student who may be in distress, they could potentially save a life. Raising awareness will also bring compassion and understanding of this autoimmune disease, which will help end the stereotypes and bullying that may come to students who are different. As a mother of a son with type 1 diabetes and founder of EASE T1D, Type 1 Diabetes Awareness, I fully support Senate Bill 138. I thank Senator Roth for authoring this life-saving educational bill. And Honorable Connie Leva and Senate Education Committee members, I urge you to vote aye on this measure and help us educate the public on type 1 diabetes. Let's save lives together. Thank you.